One of the things I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about today was how to set up your home work environment to ensure that you are, setting yourself up for success. So I do work from home most of the time. I run several of my companies from here, and so I spend a lot of time in my home office. And I've learned a few tips and tricks along the way that I wanted to share with you. So the first one is I try to set up my home office much like I would have an office anywhere else. So I try to make it a structured environment that is separate from the rest of the house. So I keep my office doors closed. I kind of set working hours. So I do definitely have a kind of confined space, both physically and mentally. So I can kind of separate myself from the rest of the house. What that does is it kind of keeps me from just wandering in and out of the kitchen all the time. And another thing that I do is I'll kind of enter my office for the day and I'll actually kind of prepare snacks. So whenever I do need food, if I get hungry, I'm actually already prepared and I'm not looking for things and kind of finding snacks that I don't actually need. So for example, today I brought kind of snacks with me. I have an apple at my desk. I have a jar of almonds, so when I need a little bit of a snack there, I've kind of planned out. And if you notice, I've actually already measured out my snack, so I'm not pulling the whole bag in from the pantry. I actually just have a pre-measured snack there. And then I also have a water bottle, right, so I can stay hydrated throughout the day. And then I also kind of measured out some protein powder that I can actually make a protein shake. So I've kind of got, a good snack or two for the day where I've got some carbohydrates, some good fats, and a protein shake and some water. So that is one thing that I do. So I kind of set up a home environment that's separate. I limit my trips to and from the kitchen, and I actually set up a lunch or a snack here. Now what I do oftentimes for lunch is I'll actually kind of leave my office and then go into the kitchen and make an actual lunch, or I may go out to lunch if kind of the day requires that. So really what I try to do is when I'm working from home is I try to set it as structured as possible. So I pack snacks, I prepare myself for the day, I really set up kind of a physical and mental border between me and the rest of the kitchen. But I make sure that everything is actually planned out, so I'm not really relying on kind of going in and just picking things out from the pantry or from the fridge. Another one is that I do realize that there are, just kind of the temptations of leaving the office and going in and out of the house is realizing that may happen and actually setting up some plans for that. So if I do end up, going into the rest of the house to go help with the chores or I need to go grocery shopping or something throughout the day, is I'll make sure that I kind of plan that out so there's not a lot of kind of unstructured eating throughout the day, even when I'm at home. So that's kind of how I set up things, but I hope that's helpful and that you guys can kind of find some of those tips and tricks actually useful. And today I just wanted to bring you guys a little bit of a video of how to prep a really easy breakfast the night before. So for those of you who have very busy schedules, you have to get up and get to work first thing in the morning and you don't have a lot of time to cook, this is a really easy way to prep something the night before that you can just grab and go. So basically I'm going to walk you through a little bit of what's here and what we're going to be making. So this is overnight oatmeal, and basically we have a half a cup of just quick cooked dry oats. We have a half a cup of milk. This can be anything from regular 2% whole milk to a non-dairy alternative, something like almond milk or soy milk. Just about a half a cup works. I have a tablespoon of ground flax seeds right here. I have a scoop of whey protein powder. This is just a vanilla whey protein. I've got a half a teaspoon of maple syrup, and I have about a quarter of a teaspoon of cinnamon. And so basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna combine these together and we're gonna let them sit overnight, and then in the morning you can just grab it out of the fridge and you can take it and go. So I usually just take a half a cup of the oatmeal and I just add it to a bowl. And then I will add in the milk. And then I will add in the protein powder. Now this kind of can depend a little bit upon the milk and the oatmeal, but I'll add most of the scoop. This is probably about 20 grams of protein. I'll kind of stir this all together just to mix it all up. And then sometimes if I need to add a little more milk just to make it the right consistency, I will, but generally about a half a cup works. So I'll get this all stirred up. And once it's all stirred, it'll just take a couple seconds. This usually takes about 2 minutes to make overall. Once it's all stirred, I will go ahead and I will pull the spoon out. And sometimes there's a little bit left on the spoon, and I'll just put that in the sink. And then I will just put the ground flaxseed right on top. I will put the cinnamon on top. I'll make sure not to spill it. So I'll just pour this over the top of the oatmeal. And then I will also just pour in the maple syrup on top. Just kind of drizzle that around. That'll just give it a little bit of sweetness without a lot of calories, right? Maple syrup is one of the more sweeter flavorings, so you don't need a lot of it. And then I will just put the lid on it. And then I just stick it in the fridge, and then it's ready to grab and go. So something like this generally has somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 grams of carbohydrates, about 20-25 grams of protein, and then usually about 3 to 4 grams of fat, just depending on how much flaxseed I put in there and what type of milk I use. So that's a really quick, easy breakfast that you guys can make at any time, and you can grab it and on the go. So hope that was helpful, and we'll see you guys next time.